Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting close. We are getting very close to the launch of Season 1, and as of today, it officially happened that we got the roadmap for Season 1. So now we know everything that is coming for not just Call of Duty Vanguard, but also Warzone Pacific during Season 1. We have a lot of information to go over. We've got new modes, new maps, new characters, and a new festive event that'll be coming very, very soon as well. So in this video, that is what we're going to be looking at, diving into that roadmap and breaking down everything that is coming within Season 1. So this is the Season 1 roadmap, and we're going to look at things in a little bit of a different way than we normally do with these videos. First off, we're going to start off with the things that are both going to be coming to Warzone and Vanguard, and then move into the more specific game information. So first of all, we have the Ricochet anti-cheat. We knew this was coming with Season 1. It is now going to be implemented as of the 8th. Of course, we also have 3 different operators. We have Francis, Lewis, and Isabella. Now, these 3 characters are going to be coming throughout the season, but the one that is in the battle pass is Francis, the character that you are seeing here. Then we move into the weapons. So the first of which is unlocked at tier 15 of the battle pass, called the Cooper Carbine. As far as this goes, it's an American hybrid rifle with some SMG properties and some assault rifle properties, but basically the way to look at this one is it's going to be a short range assault rifle. The second one is the Gorenko sniper rifle, unlocked at tier 31 of the battle pass. As far as this one goes, it's basically a PTRS. It hits really, really hard. It's semi-automatic, but has slow aim down sights time and slow movement properties as well. There are attachments that can counteract this, but of course you're going to be sacrificing some of the other stats. Now, one of the more interesting ones is the Sawtooth. Now, this is a melee weapon, and that's not what makes it interesting, but it's actually in the battle pass at tier 37. You have the battle pass, you can actually get this. I don't remember the last time we had a melee weapon in the battle pass, but it's interesting that it's in there. After this, we have the Katana. This one we don't have a date for yet, but it will be coming later in the season. And then finally, we have the well gun. This one is coming out in season. As far as this one goes, it has an interesting backstory. It's actually developed by Captain Butcher's SOE. So it's developed by the characters that we know in game. It's an interesting one, and this will be coming later on in the season. Now, on top of this, we also have some bundles that will be coming out as well. So in other words, the store is coming back with the beginning of Season 1. And basically the 3 that we have and we know about are the Skull Collector Pro Pack, Firestarter Mastercraft, and the Curse of the Ancients, which to me personally looks the best. So the last thing that we have for both games is something called Festive Fervor. Now, we don't know what this is as of yet, but the description is Season 1 launch will kick off for the Festive Fervor celebrations to come, as well as the pulse-pounding free content when the new year arrives. So there's going to be some sort of pulse-pounding content. I don't know whether that's in Warzone or Vanguard or Zombies or what. It's kind of a mystery as of right now, but there is going to be some sort of festive event coming later this month. So as far as the Warzone Pacific stuff, I'm not going to go too much into depth as to what this all is because we've done this in a video already. There is one new piece of information that we'll go over a little bit more in depth, but as far as this goes, we're getting the Caldera, which is of course the new map, and then the 40 new weapons. So all of the weapons coming in from Call of Duty Vanguard are there once again. The new thing that we haven't talked about yet is the new gulag. So what this appears to be is a gulag inside the volcano, which is pretty damn cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what the gulag is actually going to look like and play like, but as of right now, that is what we know. It is inside the volcano. Rebirth Island is of course sticking around, and the other things that we are getting are Vanguard Royale, which we've already talked about, is all the Vanguard items, the planes, and everything like that in the game. Speaking of which, the new combat vehicles are the plane, the squad vehicle, and the cargo truck, very similar to the cargo truck that we saw in Verdansk. Then we're getting later in the season Vanguard Resurgence, which is similar to Rebirth Resurgence, but of course on the Caldera map. On top of this, we have new contracts and new public events, very similar to what we saw in Verdansk, but this time they've switch them up a little bit. Moving over into Vanguard, we have a little bit more information and things we haven't talked about yet. First off, we have 2 new maps, the first of which is called Radar. Now, Radar is a 6v6, 7v7, 8v8, and 14v14 map. This one is Dome from Modern Warfare 3, but it's remade, thrown into the Pacific, and of course it looks a lot different. But as far as this map goes, it is Dome, it is the layout of Dome, and will be absolutely insane in 14v14. The second map has 6v6, 8v8, and 12v12. It is called Paradise. It is a weapons testing site somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. So kind of going with that same Caldera vibe, going into the Pacific. We have another map just like this one. As far as this map goes, it's a 3-lane style map. We don't know the size of it yet, but it's interesting. There's also pools of toxic waste. Not sure how I feel about that. The game mode that we are getting with Season 1 is Control. This is the mode that we know from competitive. As far as this goes, I believe they're putting it in now so that competitive players can play it for the actual CDL competitive season. As far as this game mode goes, you should know it already, know everything about it. It is round-based. You know what it is. No point going into it anymore. So the other new thing with the Battle Pass this year is that there are perks and lethal grenades in there as well. The first perk we have is unlocked at tier 21, and it is called Serpentine. And essentially what this does is sprinting reduces incoming damage. So while you are sprinting, you take less damage. This could be very powerful for close range weapons. I'm very interested to see how this actually works and how much damage it actually reduces, but it's pretty interesting. Based off of the description, it says the damage can be cut by more than a quarter of its normal value. So a quarter of the damage taking off, which is a very big deal. The second perk is called Intuition. And as far as this one goes, your vision pulses when enemies are nearby or even through walls. So it's kind of similar to what we already have in the game where an enemy looks at you and you get notified of it. This one though, it's when they are close to you. So you don't necessarily have to be looking at them. This will be good for when players are flanking behind you. It'll be an interesting perk. Both of these perks are tier 1 perks. So you can use them in your first perk slot. It'll be interesting to see what people are running after the first season. And the final thing at tier 39 of the Battle Pass is a lethal equipment called the Incendiary Grenade. This obscures an area with white fog and burns those who come too close. So very similar to the Thermite, but it also obscures vision. I'm guessing it does a little bit less damage than the Thermite, but that's all you need to know. So as far as zombies goes, there is no new zombies map, so let's put that out of the way right away. On top of this, there is a new event called Purge. Basically, this is a new objective where you go into the different areas and you have to do specific things. So this is a new way of getting those sacrificial hearts. Speaking of which, there are new covenants, so new things that you can do with the sacrificial hearts. There are new weapons, but basically what I mean by this is you can bring launchers into the various different games of zombies, and new challenges. This is talking about the seasonal challenges with unique rewards, which will both be in multiplayer and zombies as well. Now in season, we are getting something new called the Tome of Rituals. They don't really go in too much depth as to what that actually is. On top of this, a new area that you can go to called Von List's office, which is very interesting for the zombie story. On top of this, there's new support kill streaks, as you are seeing there, and a weapons update. I'm expecting to see a weapons update in multiplayer as well, but for now, they have only mentioned it in zombies. Now, the last thing, and of course with the new season, there's new levels to rank up through. So just like we had in Black Ops Cold War, the various different, every 50 levels, you get a new prestige. These are the prestige icons. I'm not gonna lie, I think they're kind of lame. I think they could have done, maybe added a little color or something to them, but they are kind of more in line with what you'd see during World War II. So maybe that's why they went with that. But that is everything coming within Season 1. As far as it goes, it's an interesting one. There's a lot of content here. I'm most looking forward to Warzone Pacific, and of course, we'll be covering that over the week as that comes out. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you're subscribed, have notifications on. If you enjoyed this video, tried to get through it as fast as possible for you guys. So if you did enjoy, a like is always appreciated, and let me know what you think down in the comments. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out. We are